guys. Flycore Fitness coming into you with my week what I think is 198, if I remember my last week correctly. I'm actually just a few minutes early to an appointment with the lawyer about my accident that I was in last year. So I only have about 5 minutes, and I will probably make a second half of this video and attach it so it's all one video, because I don't know that I just have 5 minutes of stuff to talk about. I promised to make an update yesterday on my Instagram story, so here I am, but I really don't want to. Just a heads up, I'm still not really actively weighing myself. I am, but I'm just not paying too much attention to that number right now. And I started to do that a few weeks ago, and it's funny because I started an online course this week about body trust that my therapist recommended, and I have some mixed feelings about it, but they one of their core competencies is how to practice weight neutrality, and for the 6 weeks of the course they ask us to not weigh ourselves compulsively, if at all. And so I am just trying to weigh myself once a week, or just whenever I feel like it, but usually I'm pretty consistently every day. And I've never really been too emotional about that. I think I've talked to you about that before. I really just measure like on certain days that this is my weigh-in versus whatever the number says on the other days. But I'm trying not to do that. And I've been successful in that. So yeah, I started this course, and a lot of it is about weight neutrality, body acceptance, and practicing self-compassion. Now, I've had a little bit of discussion about this today with Tanya, actually, because my push on it, like, I feel like all the ideas are good. I'm so about body acceptance, but some of the body acceptance also equates like fat acceptance, and like my take on that is, if I accept my body as fat, then I won't want better. Like, I don't want to let go of still losing more weight, or losing at least, some, if not all of my regain. I've been at this weight that I've been at for almost 1 year. So, that's, I guess, maintenance. I'm not ready to accept that as my new normal, I'm not ready to just be like, okay, this is where I'm at with my body, and, I'm at peace with that. Like, I'm all about loving my body as it is and not being hypercritical of it all the time, because I'm so exhausted of how much time I spend beating myself up. But it would be nice to find some peace in my body while continuing to work on improving it. I feel like I've been pretty good about not being in a diet mentality, especially the last 6 to 8 months, or 6 months or so. I started the year off on doing keto, and I don't really consider that a diet, although it can be. But more as a way of eating. I consider myself where I'm at right now is just like consistently making healthy choices, consistently monitoring portion control, consistently eating more whole foods over processed foods. So, that's not a diet mentality. That's not like, what can I do right now to lose the weight? So I feel good about that. And part of the course deals with like getting rid of my diet mentality. And I feel like in terms of mentality as it equates to action, I'm on board. I'm there, a lot of the time. But in terms of thought process, and like how a diet mentality for, wow. For the last 28 years of my life doesn't just go away, See, I told you guys that I've been going through a lot. It's really hard work. And my therapist dropped a bombshell on me on Friday. Although everybody I've told about it, like 4 people that I've told about it, that knows me very well looked at me like, obviously. So she told me that I was a master, like PhD level deflector of feelings. That I end a lot of my sentences with, but it's fine. And I do. It's not, even if it's not fine, sometimes it is fine. Sometimes it's not. But it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't impact me, right? That my level of self-protection around everything is so high that I can't even admit to feeling feelings. Like, I can't even. So, awesome. On that note, I have to go to the attorney, but I did want to share with you later when I come in. I am, sorry. I swear to God, I'm so close to just having like a complete mental breakdown. When I come back, I want to tell you about a question that the course asked me that my actual gut answer to really surprised me. So I will come back in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, bye. Okay, so I left my lawyer appointment. All of that was good. Sweating like a fiend. Thank you for that quadruple coffee. Shit. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to finish up saying about just stuff that I'm going through without like completely telling you all of my deepest, darkest secrets was there was two questions, like kind of journaling prompts. One of which I encourage you guys to consider just because I'm stumped on it a little bit. And the other one is just an interesting answer that I came up with. So the first one is, if you were to wake up tomorrow in a body positive world, what would you do to take care of yourself? Or what would you want or need to do to take care of yourself? Meaning, if you woke up and there was no judgment from you or others on your body or your size or your fat or your non-fat, basically just, you know, all people just were created equal, essentially, and were deserving of all the things all the time. What would you need to do to take care of yourself? My answer was complicated because I feel like I do those things. Like, I work out, not related to weight or size. I really truly exercise because, well, I do the things I do in exercise because I enjoy it and because it makes me happy. If it were for more weight stuff, I'd do more cardio, but I don't because I hate cardio. Let's hope I don't lose you guys again today. It's a bumpy ride, you guys, bumpy ride. Okay, so anyway, the other question was, what are some things that you think perpetuates your thin ideal? I mean, obviously for me, I subscribe to Us Magazine and like, it's all about celebrities, but I also like, I don't know, maybe that stuff affects me more than I give it credit for, because like, I don't subscribe or read like Vogue or Glamour or, you know, that kind of shit. Like, I really think that kind of shit is fucked up. But these are just like what celebrities are doing, and, you know, a couple articles about missing people or something like that. But the thing I thought that was interesting was my answer to the question, and I really, really, really hope you guys don't be mad at me, aren't mad at me for this, but it is my truth right now, and I didn't realize it. But I said the weight loss surgery community helps propensate my thin ideal. And I mean that in a grander sense than maybe I'm saying it. What I mean is, the friends that I have made through the weight loss surgery community are 110% the most supportive, and I have never or rarely felt that kind of completely unconditional care and love. So like, I know that even though they would want me to be happy if I weren't happy in my weight or my body, that they will love me if I am 10 pounds or 400 pounds. they might feel a little sorry for me because they know I'd be miserable at 400 pounds, but they wouldn't think I was less than. So I don't mean that. But for like a long time, 6+ months, I have really dropped off of my Facebook through my weight loss surgery page and engaging in groups and kind of just general discussion, because for me, and I didn't really realize this is why, I thought I was just kind of taking like a break and I've been busy and all this stuff. But when I was posed with that question, it's because it really does, Lauren Dayton, it really does sort of feed the obsession for me in terms of tracking. And I do track. I even in this body trust thing, mainly because like I have like a 1,600 day streak and I really, for whatever reason, do not want to give that up. Let's be honest. That's the truth. Even if I'm just logging in my coffee in the morning. But, you know, counting calories, tracking, you know, defining food as good and bad, guilt, the shame around regain, the obsession with plateaus and goal, and just all the normal things that happen the first couple of years you're out in the weight loss surgery community. I don't think that that's abnormal. I don't think it's bad at all. I'm not putting a judgment on that. I'm just saying, for me, the way my mind is working and like latching on to like as much negativity as it can around weight and regain and food right now in my life, I've had to step away from that. I didn't realize that's what it was, but it is, at least in part. So that's my truth. And I'm sorry if I lose subscribers for being honest about that, because I feel like I've disappointed not just myself in this regain, but you guys too. But I also like can't do the everyday engagement on Facebook like I used to, and in the groups giving my 2 cents and advice, because like it helps perpetuate the obsession for me. It's a problem with me, not with the, does that make sense? Like that's my perception and my processing. So I hope that makes sense, because like I think the weight loss surgery as a community as a whole is an amazing place, is an amazing supportive place. The people I follow, you know, I think are awesome. The people who reach out to me and be like, hey, you don't know me, I just want you to know how much you make a difference in my life, or you know, this is where I'm at and I appreciate your input. Like that shit is awesome. And the friends I've made, I would have never, like walking into this 4 years ago pre-surgery, I would have frankly never, ever, ever have thought I would make friends with people like Lauren and Tanya and Sarah Spoon and Gracie, okay. Sorry. And just everyone, like Katie and Kirk, and I just am so blessed that those are my closest friends, and the list goes on and on. But I just would have never thought that people like that existed, much less that I would be worthy of their friendship, much less that this community would be a segue to make us friends, if that makes sense. So I think the weight loss surgery in general is awesome. But right now, in the broader picture of that being social media and Facebook, and a little bit with YouTube, especially because, you know, I know the people that are further out, and, you know, most of the people that are on Facebook right now are kind of not as far out as me, and they're still in that, you know, struggle between plateaus and maintenance and goal and, you know, maybe a little even regain. And I'm just having a hard time engaging with that for me personally. That's not to say that will always be the case. And that's not to say that any of that is bad. I'm spending a lot of time justifying myself, because I feel really bad having said that, because that was the first thing that came up, was like, you know, sometimes engaging in that at a certain level, like propensity, I can't even say it, leads me to be way more obsessive about those things than I want to be. And I'm trying to really find some freedom and peace in my heart and in my head, because I'm a mess and I have to deal with some stuff. And so I need to kind of shut out some of the chatter. and it has nothing to do with anybody else but me. So that was the only other thing I wanted to say. It took me 8 minutes to say it, so now you're at like a 700-minute video, as promised. Hopefully it's not as much nonsense as last week, but it might be. If you guys woke up in a world tomorrow with complete body acceptance, with no body judgment from yourself or others, what would you do to take care of yourself? That's what I want to know. All right, guys, have a really good weekend. Keep it so fly out there. I love you all. Bye.